Okay, so okay, all right. Thank you very much, Chine. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so much for letting me know that I can be heard. I was trying to see how I can get that information. Okay, so okay, we're gonna start like very soon. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's say okay. Great. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. Thank you. Okay. Okay, hi guys. Good afternoon. My name is David Orok, and I'm the lead trainer in No Code Africa, where you get to learn how to build web and mobile applications without having to write a single line of code. This is a free training for Africans who want to learn how to build their African entrepreneurs or talents who want to build, their MVPs like really fast, either for themselves or for their clients. So we started like 3 days ago, and today is day three. And then in today's lesson, we're going to get to learn how to build a co-working space booking application using Adalo. That means we don't get to code; we just like build it. And then this application can actually run on both Android and iOS devices. And we started some part of it yesterday and encountered some few difficulties. And then during the lab session, yesterday, because after every classes, we always have labs later in the night. Yeah, so during the lab session yesterday, we were able to figure out ways to fix the problem that we experienced yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and continue the training for today. So if at any point in time you can't hear me, I mean the guys in the studio, please just let me know you can't hear me at any point in time so I can check my network or check my gadgets and just be sure that everything is working very fine, because I really need everyone currently going through this training to be very good at building web and mobile applications without coding. Okay, because this skill is going to be very very beneficial to you, and you can actually get to use this skill to make like lots of money, this year being a new year. Okay, so we're going to like start right now. I am going to share my screen and we will continue from where we stopped yesterday. Okay. Okay, the guys in the studio, please, can you guys see my screen? I just want to be sure you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Please just drop on the comment section that you can see my screen. Okay, Trust is giving me a thumbs up. Is that a yes? I still need just comment. Taufik, Wese, can you just like comment? I just want to be very sure. Okay, good. Isaac, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. So this is what we were working on yesterday, and then we encountered some challenges. So just to like give a recap for maybe the new guys that just joined us recently. So the platform that we use in building a mobile application and also web application is this tool called Adalo, right? It is not something you download to install on your system. It's just a web application. So you can access it, from adalo.com, or there is a link we had already shared on the community on WhatsApp, the No Code Africa community on WhatsApp. So you can actually get to, check it out there and then use that to sign up. All right. So the platform is called Adalo, and then we will use Adalo to build mobile applications and web applications. These mobile applications can actually get to work on both Android and iOS devices. Like it's really really cool. You can publish your applications on Apple Store and on Play Store, like directly from Adalo, right? Okay, so what we did yesterday was we tried building a co-working space booking application. Now the idea behind the strategy we're using right now, just trying to use project-based learning to make sure that everyone gets to understand what we are building, right? Yes. So we try to build a project instead of just showing you how to do different things like in bits. We just try to build like a complete application and then show you different things, right? Then from there, you will be able to understand how to use the entire software. Okay, so that's that being said, this is what we tried doing yesterday. So we tried creating a co-working space booking application. So a co-working space booking application, what it's supposed to do is this: it is an application created to help you know freelancers, technical talents who are you know looking for co-working spaces nearest to them to easily like find it and then book it, and then you know like be able to easily locate the co-working space they have already booked, right? So it has like two kinds of users. We have the admin, and then we also have the talent. So the admin, we're trying to see how we can make it like very simple at this stage so that we don't get to overcomplicate things. Later on we will try to make it multi-vendor, like uh the standard way it's supposed to be is this: we're supposed to have like a platform, right, where the owners of the co-working space, right, can actually get to sign up on the platform and list their co-working spaces. That's how it's supposed to be. The admin is supposed to be like the third user, right? We're supposed to have admin, the workspace owners, all right, we can just call them vendors. Then we now have the freelancers. So that means we're supposed to have like three users. But if we want to go ahead and create like three users at this stage, it's going to like overcomplicate scenarios. So in our subsequent class, we're going to make it like exactly how it's supposed to be. But for now, we're just using two users. That means admin and the freelancer. So it is assumed that the admin are the ones that will update the details of the co-working spaces. All right. And the details here includes the name of the workspaces, the prices for using the workspaces, the location of the workspace. I think that's just it, right? And then the opening and closing time for the workspaces. Then later on we can add like some other features, because when trying to book a co-working space, you might want to know whether they have some facilities like toilet facilities, for instance. It's usually very important. So maybe in subsequent classes we will just like increase and add some more detail to our application until we can like fully finish it. All right, so let's just go ahead straight into it and then build it. Okay, so when you're creating your application for the very first time using Adalo, you're being given like three startup screens. We have the sign up screen, the login screen, and then the home screen. So you have like just three screens, right? So that's like when you create your application the very first time. Just to recap, when you want to create an application, you click on where my cursor is right now, and then you come down here and click on create new application. Then you select native app, then you select next, then you select blank here, and then the next thing you do is you go ahead and then click on next, and then you give your application a name, choose the primary color, choose the second color, then click on create. All right, we're not going to create a new application right now. I'm just making a recap of how it works. Okay, so I'll just click outside. Okay, so yesterday we tried building the application and then we encountered some problems and it was fixed. So just to show you how it is, now we have, let's go to the database first and then see some things. So if we go to the database now, we get to see that we have like 4 users, and then out of these 4 users, 2 of them are admins. We have Uche here and Steven. So these are like the admins. So the admin is supposed to be able to just view the admin page, like the admin screen here. So, and then the freelancer itself is supposed to just be able to view the the homepage here, right? So then the other guys, okay, if you observe here, we have just one person being like a freelancer, right? That means the person is a freelancer here. So but I went ahead to create like some fixes that makes us not to experience some certain bugs that we had before. So this is how it is, right? Let's just try to demo it and see how it works. Okay, so let me check it again. So Steven is let's just use Mary, right? Mary is a freelancer. So Uche, okay, so Uche and Sam. I will use Uche and Sam. So Uche is an admin, all right. If you can see here, it's an admin, and then Sam is just a regular person, regular person. Okay, so we will come here to preview, click on preview. I will check the guys again in the studio just to be sure that I'm being heard. Okay, I think, all right, I think I can still be heard. I have not seen any complaints. Okay, so this is it. I'll just click on already have an account because I already have an account. And I have sam at gmail.com and a password, and then I will log in. Now I logged in. It shows here that this is Hi Sam Joe create workspace. Now we will take these things off. You know, yesterday we used it because we were trying to check some things out. The a new user is not supposed to see how to create a workspace. It's only the admin that is supposed to be able to, like, click here and then go create a workspace. Yeah, so we will take these things off, and then so find workspace nearest to you. Now we're not concerned so much about the beauty of the platform right now. We're not concerned about the UI, the user interface. We just want to be sure that we can work on we can, like, use the functions very well, like the tools, the different tools, understand the logic, and just make sure that everything works out very well on the application. Then in subsequent classes we will look at the UI. We will look at how to make interpret a UI UX design that has already been created on Figma, and then we will try to see how we can implement it here. All right. Yeah. So so this is how it is, like the what we have done, like what we did yesterday. Okay, so I've just logged in with a regular user. So I get to see this particular page. So I can log out now, and I will log in with another account, which is Uche, right? So Uche, according to what we checked in our database, Uche is an admin. So when we log in now, we're supposed to be able to see the admin part. And this still shows this. Uche, this was fixed. Adalo. Uche Joe username. Uche's an admin. This was fixed. Okay, so I will take this out quickly and then preview again. Let's log in again. Okay. Okay, so all right, so we log in with the login details Uche, and then it shows us the admin panel, right? Yeah, so this is already like a solution to being able to, like, redirect a particular user to a certain screen. Yeah, so when you're trying to build a multi-user application, that means you don't just have like one user. That means you're having like two kinds of users, the admin and then your regular users. All right, so this is like the approach you get to use. Now the fix here was still what we did yesterday, right? But the only thing that we did that changed was that, yesterday when we were trying out the application, when we reload the screen, it kept on taking us back to the home screen. So what we did yesterday, we just changed some few details about each of the individual screen. So if you see here on this on the top of this sign up page, you're going to see like two different icons on top of it. So if you click on it, then you click on the sign up here, you'll get to see the screen navigation type. So if you click on this, you'll see that we have three different kinds of screen navigation types. So we have the home screen, the welcome screen, and the normal screen. So the way Adalo is designed, it is designed such that, okay, so if you reload your screen, it actually somehow gets to return you back to the home screen. Yeah, so yesterday the home screen was this particular one here. So every single time we reloaded the screen, we were actually brought back to this particular point. So that was like what happened yesterday. So and then when we were trying to like log in, the logic here was very correct. All right, the logic here was very correct. Let's look at the logic again. So for you to be able to determine who actually gets to see a particular screen, what you do is you just get to play around with the logic on the login screen. And so what we did was we first of all went to the database, and then we created two more properties in the under the user collection database. We added like two more properties. That was the admin and then the freelancer. So now here, the admin and freelancer, these are like the property here, are just like true or false property, right? It's usually called Boolean. So it's either true or false. It cannot be anything else. That means at any point in time that it is true, it can not be false at the same time. So it can only be like one option. All right. So we get to use this because you can either be an admin or you be a freelancer. Okay. So okay, so for us to make that happen, we did that. We created those two properties, and then the next thing that we did was we came to the submit button, the login screen, sorry, and then we went to the submit button and see what happens when a user clicks on the submit button, which is the login here. So when the user clicks on the login, what happens first is that the user is being logged into the application. The user is being logged into the application, and then the next thing that happens is that the user is supposed to be taken to some sort of screen. Like, all right, so when you log into a particular application, you don't just stay there and be logged in. You have to be taken to a screen. So that's like another action. So that's the action we have here. So the user gets to be taken to the home screen with the transition, which is push. And this doesn't happen always. This happens sometimes. Now we have like two options here. There's always and there's sometimes. So if I thought you're creating for just one category of users, you can always use always all the time. So anytime someone logs in, the person goes to just one specific home screen. All right. So, but in this case, we just want them to go to different screens. So we have to go ahead and then create this logic here, right? So sometimes when the logged in user being the freelancer, okay, is true. So if the logged in user that is a freelancer is true, then take the person to this page called the home screen. All right. And that's for that one. And then we now create another one here. Creating extra actions here is more like you saying or. Yeah, so usually in conditional statements, let's say in the typical programming scenario, right? You're supposed to like, when you create something, you can say, if this is this, then do this or do this. So it's usually called if and else statements and all, right? But we're not coding here. We're just like using the tool without having to code at all. Okay, so now when you do that, this is for freelancers, so it gets to take them to the home screen. Then over here in the second action, we take the user to admin, not always, but sometimes. If the logged in user is actually an admin, that means if the logged in user admin property is true, so please take that person to this. So what happens is that according to how Adalo works behind, it just somehow loops through the records and then discovers that, okay, and checks whether each of those different statements is true. Now, both statements are not supposed to be true at the same time, because if they are true at the same time, it will be broken. Like Adalo will be confused. So one has to be true per time and the other false. Okay. All right. So that was how that was fixed. But okay, that was how that was fixed. So I believe that we understand. If you don't really like understand this very well, just try and make sure that you attend the labs again. We will always have like 1 hour labs every 7 p.m. GMT plus one. That's Lagos time. Yes, and it's always on Google Meet. Yeah. So if you're part of our community on WhatsApp, then you can always see that. If you're not, just drop a comment on the on the video, and then I will drop you the link to the community on WhatsApp, so you can always get information in real time. Okay, so we're going to move away from that like quickly, and then we will come back to like rearrange some things here. So today's class, you're going to learn some things about relationships, like relationship when it comes to different databases, right? Yeah, relationship that has to do with the different databases in our application. Yeah, because when you're trying to do some filtering, some sorting, you're going to have to create relationship between each databases. Like for instance, you have to create a relationship between the workspace database and the user database. I will show you where that is needed so you can get to see it. Okay, so we will go ahead and come to here. Let's just delete some details here. We take this out, the workspace, because we don't need that. And then, okay, well, full name we can still leave here. This was a test project. I was working on something I was just testing something at the end here, which I will show you guys today. Yeah, so I will just like take this off as well, and then push this back up like this. Now we're not concerned about the physique, that's the UI. We just want to make sure that it works, right? Okay, so okay. Now we're going to do something really cool. All right, we're going to do something really cool. First of all, we've already talked about. Let's rearrange certain things here. Let's rearrange our screen, please, just so that we can have. You might not really be able to see it now, but I just want to rearrange the screen so we can have. I want us to have the admin section different from um the freelancer. Okay, so I'm gonna just push things around. So list of workspaces. Uh, okay. Book now. List of workspaces. Okay, so this works. Then book noun. Okay, let's bring it close by. This was just a test stuff. We will take it off. And okay, so all right. So now we have we have just arranged it. So the the screens that you can see here below, all right, these ones are going to be the screens for the freelancer. So we'll do every single thing that has to do with the user flow of what the freelancer does on the platform. We'll do everything here on this side. Then we will do everything that has to do with the admin from this side. Later on, maybe if we have some good time left, we will just like try to style it a bit. So if I told you are an admin and you're the owner of this business, for instance, so you want to be able to like create like publish workspaces. Okay, so just like let's just check it out again. uh okay, so we will sign in. Sam, it's okay, let's just use our same Gmail. This is not, this is, we're going to just use Uche. All right, Uche at gmail.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we have this is like the dashboard for Uche. Uche is like the admin. Uche owns this co-working space business. So what Uche does is Uche goes ahead to like look for co-working space owners and then strikes a deal with them and tells them, okay, see, I have a lot of freelancers who want to, they are always in need of co-working spaces nearest to them. So I will bring them to you. Okay, so and then they will be using my application to book your co-working space. So that's basically, so Uche's role is to just create different co-working spaces here by giving details of the name of the workspace, the location, the opening time, closing time, the contact number of the co-working space, the price of the co-working space, and then the workspace image. That's just basically what Uche gets to do. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we will just go back and then try to see what we can do to make sure Uche's life is like way better. So instead of having all these things inside here in admin, I want us to like make the admin a little bit interesting, please. Okay, so let's create another screen. Let's call it create workspace. To create a screen, you click on the plus icon here, the plus icon, then you click on add screen, and then you click on, you can choose this, let's say the app bar screen. So you click on this, then we'll call this create workspace. So right now we just want to make it a little bit interesting and detailed. Create workspace. Now it appears here, so I will just drag it close. All right, we can arrange it later. So this is how it is. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we will go ahead and we're supposed to move all these details, like especially this form from here. We'll move this form from here and put it here. Okay, so well, you can just go ahead and like copy it or cut it. All right, cut it. That's Control X to cut it out from there, and then click the name of the screen here. All right, then do Control V. It will appear in this other part. That's how to like move different components from one screen to the other. Just you can just copy them or cut them, and then click on the name of the screen, and then just Control V to paste it there. It appears there. Let me be sure that I can still be heard. Okay, so I think I can still be heard. Okay, so what I will go ahead to do right now is this is it. I will try to adjust this. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I will adjust it a little bit, and then okay, over here we have the main dashboard, the main dashboard of the application. Okay, so we can bring a button, we can call it can bring a button here, just bring a button here, and we will call this button create workspace. Create workspace. Okay, we'll just create workspace. We can leave the plus icon. It's really cool, so you can always add it anything, and we just want the features. Okay, so the admin here, then we can just like bring this down a bit, and then okay, let's just bring it down a bit more. So the next thing I just want to do, just to make it nice, like just make it nice, I'm going to add an image here. I'm going to add an image here. I want to add some sort of image here. It's going to be like round for the profile picture of this admin, right? So for us to be able to achieve that, we will just bring the image property like I just did. You click on the image property, and then it will follow your cursor, and then you bring it here. So what you now do is you can go ahead and select an image from your system. All right, so I will click to select an image from the system. I will go to downloads, then I will find an image. I can use any of this image, I think. Okay, I'll use this. So I will this. Okay, so I just use my picture, and it's going to appear here. All right, but if at all you can see it like that, it doesn't look like it yet. So what we will just do is we will try to make sure that we resize this and make it like round. So we will go to we'll click on edit size, edit styles. All right, then scroll down. You see that the size of the image property here, the image component, is not the same. So we have like it's 375 by 210. So what we will just do is we'll try to make it like the same. So I will make this other side to be 375. Okay, so we have 375. So it's now a square. And the reason why we're doing that is because we want to be able to turn this square into a circle. That means we're going to round the edges of this square. So we will just click on this to round it up. Now you might not really see that it is like rounded, so because the background of this picture is white, so it's like complicated. So I will just give it a border. All right, so you can see it like this, so you can see what I mean. Then now I want to like reduce the size of this entire picture. Now if I just click and push it down, if you can see, it's distorted. I want it to be like a perfect circle all through. Okay, so what I'm supposed to do is I'll just hold down shift and actually resize it. So when I'm holding down shift, I can actually resize it properly without having to lose the shape of the component. All right, so I have it here. There's a picture. So yeah, this is the picture. And then what I'm going to do next is okay, there are two ways we can do this. Either we just bring it from the database, or we can do something. I think we should just do that at once. So let's make it such that this user, this admin, can actually, like, when they have access to the dashboard, they can go ahead and just edit their details. That means they should be able to edit their, maybe their name, and maybe picture and password and certain things that they had already used at the beginning. So let's do that here. We'll just bring another icon, another button here. We'll click on this, just bring the button here, and then we'll put it here. And then we have, let's make it an outline button. Then we rename it to edit uh, profile. Yeah, we can just call it edit profile. Then I can just change the icon just to be dramatic. Edit, and like this. Yep. Okay, so we can have it like this. Then we can just go ahead and then create another screen. Create another screen here, because we need to be able to like take the user to another screen. That's the admin here, to another screen when we want them to edit their profile. So I'll create another screen. I'll call it edit profile. Okay, edit profile. And I can call this edit profile admin, right? Admin. Just so that we can differentiate it, because we will at some point create an edit profile for the regular users. That's the freelancers. Okay, so we have it here. Then what is supposed to be here? Let's first of all link this button here. Okay, so every single time you create a button, right, you're supposed to link it to another screen. Yeah, because if you don't do that, Adalo won't know where to point the button to. So for you to link a button to another screen, you just click on the button first. Then you will see the section here that shows you the different properties of the button. Then you click on action and then go to link it. So you link it to edit profile admin. All right. Okay. So now you can click on done. Now if you don't want, the reason why we called it edit profile admin is because we wanted to be able to identify, like, differentiated from like the edit profile for the freelancer, because we will do something similar for freelancers. So but now, if you can see here, we also have here inside the app bar that the name here is edit profile admin. It's not really cool. So let me show you how to do that. If you click on the app bar itself, that's the section here, you will see something called title, right? So you click on the title, then you can just remove the part you don't want. So I'll just take these ones off, and then so we have just edit profile. So this is what the user, the admin, will see. But when you're designing your application, you can see edit profile admin. And when we are pointing a particular screen to a particular button or component or a screen, you will be able to know where you're pointing it to. Okay, so edit profile. Now, for us to be able to edit profile, we need a form that will be able to collect the the details that is found in the database, so that we can like edit it. Okay, so for us to do that, we will come to the components section here. Then we click on form. It will just follow our cursor and the mouse cursor, and then we will just drop it here. And then, just like every other form, you're supposed to like tell Adalo what form is this, like which data are you collecting, or are you sending the details you want to fill in this form to. So that's like the question here. So which data collection? So you have to come here and click on selection, like select the whole thing, and then instead of workspace, of course, we just want to work on the user. So this is it. So now you can see there's email, there is password, and it is saying login, but we don't want to log in. We want to update, right? We don't want to log in. We just want to update. Now, when we click on updates, it shows us even more things that are in the database of the user collection, right? So we have the email, we have password, we have username, we have full name, we have whether the person is an admin or a freelancer, right? Yeah, so this is it. So we will hide certain things. Yeah, we don't really need everything to be seen. So what should we really change here? Should just be email and password and username, yes, and their full name. So we will take off this. This was just for our development. So we will come here for us to like check off some things. You click on this, then you click on fields. All right, then you can click on this to delete what you don't want to see on your phone. So I'll take out this and then I'll take out this. All right, that's it. Then another thing you need to do is, now if the user, all right, clicks on edit profile and they just wanted to upload their picture. All right, so okay, now if you thought you've seen, we did not have like a picture field, an image field in our user database, because else it would have shown here. So what we will do first is, let's go back to the user database and add an image picture, an image, sorry. Okay, so property, then image. Okay, so some persons had issues. Some persons that reached out to me, and then they actually clicked on this and they clicked on the image property, but they said their image property was still called new property. So the idea is you're supposed to just rename it and call it image. So we can just say user image. Okay, so you have to rename it, else it will just be called new property. Okay, so we have user image now. So we will come back here and then click on the form itself. Then we have to select the user again, so that we need to be able to like have the other new details that we had put. So we're not logging in, we're updating. So now we have even more details now. So I'll click on the admin edit profile, the name of the screen, so that I can adjust it, because the detail is now bigger than the initial space that we have. Okay, so this is it right now, if you can see, right? So now what we'll just do is we'll go and take off the admin and freelancer property. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay, sorry, I just had a technical glitch. Can you guys still hear me? Or can you guys hear me? Like the guys in the studio? Please, if you can hear me, please just say something. I experienced like a very short technical challenge. Hello, guys, can you hear me? The guys in the studio. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we will just continue. So okay, we will try to like change this. So we want to just like take off the admin and then the freelancer section here. We don't want to be editing that. It was just for our development, like I said earlier. So we will come to fields. We will come to fields and then we will check it off. We will just delete the freelancer item here and then the admin, right? So we don't have that. Then I will take off this. I'll take this off, like just like maybe adjust it a bit so everything just stays cool. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is now there was something I was trying to explain. Now, if the user here, the admin, wants to just edit their image, okay, if they click on this, yes, it will take them to the edit profile screen, right? But now when they try to fill it, let me show you let me show you how it happens. So show you how it happens. So we go ahead and just log in with Uche. All right, so I copied it. This and okay, so this is like what we see here, right? This particular picture is not coming from the database, and yeah. So if you can see it, this is definitely not Uche. This is me. and we will try to, but for now we will just use this picture as Uche. But instead of getting it from the database, we're going to instead of getting it from the system, like uploading it manually, we're going to try to get it directly from the database. I will show you that. So now, when you want to create workspace, okay, we didn't link this. Edit profile takes you to this particular page right now. And then there's something I want to show you. So let's say I want to just change my image, right? I want to put an image in the database. So I come here, I click to upload the image, then I just click on this, and then I have this like this. Okay, and then I want to go ahead and upload. I click on update user. It tells me password is required, right? It is not like it wants you to confirm password. It just wants you to fill in that particular, field. But now we don't want that. We want a situation whereby none of these fields is required. Like it's not like compulsory that you have to fill it before you submit the form. So that means you can choose any field and then just correct it. So for us to change that, we will just like close this. We will come to here, the form itself. We'll go back to the fields. Then we will check some rows here. So if you click on each of the fields, the email here, you will see this field is required. So we will uncheck that and we click done. We click on this password. You see it says this field is required. Now that's why we had those errors. So we uncheck everything here. We don't make anything required. So the user can actually change anything they want to change at any point in time. The user image is not required. Nothing is compulsory to change. So, okay, now that we've done that, if we go ahead and preview it again, okay, so we have this, we have edit profile, and then you see here, we can go ahead and just update the picture alone. If we go down here, click on this, and then upload the picture. Okay, then we can go ahead and just update the user. When it happens like that, yeah, the picture is too large. Oh, I think the picture is too large. Hold on, let's see what happens in the database. Uh, where is it? Uche. The picture is too large. I wish I have like a smaller picture. But let's just correct something else. Or let's correct something else. Or I would just go ahead and fill different things. Not same, just this. Okay, so edit, then I will put in some few things like Uche. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just do this. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, the picture wasn't actually too large, but it had some conditions. I will show you how to fix that later. Yeah, it has some conditions that actually requires you to put every single thing. If we go back to the database now, we go back to the database, we will just save it. We will go ahead and then let's just check the database. Initially, we didn't have an image for Uche, but I think we should have an image now. So yes, we have an image for Uche, right? Okay, so I will show you how to fix that like later. Okay, so the next thing we would do now is we will try to make sure that this picture is not from, we don't upload the picture, we're taking it from the database, right? So initially what we did was we were using the upload option here. We uploaded it from our system. So but now we want to go to database. So we'll go to database, logged in user image. Okay, and that's what is going to appear here. Okay, so now I need to just show like this because it's actually getting data from the database, like it's getting inputs from database. Okay, so we have done this for the admin, and what else should we do? So create workspace. Let's link this workspace to this screen. Okay, so click on the button itself, and then click on action, then link, then create workspace. Okay, so you now have that like that. Okay, so we now have this. The next thing we would do is now the user can actually get to edit their details, right? Then the next thing they can like update their details. The next thing that we will need the admin to be able to do is the admin should be able to like view all the workspaces, right? All the workspaces that this admin has created. Yes, all the workspaces that this admin has created. Now, let's go ahead and try something out. Uh, we'll create a screen, another screen. We will say, uh, let's call it my workspaces or my listings. Yeah, anyone. My listings. Okay, so we have it, my listings. So now this is the part that might be a little tricky, but really, really interesting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and then create a list here, and then it will show all the different things. If you come to the database and then you come to workspaces, you see like there are two records already. And then you see the workspaces that we have here. We have one that is called Mainland Light Sports, amazing workspace. Okay, so we're going to do some manipulation, like some things that will just make this really cool. And of course, most of the things that I'm going to do here, you will always need to do them in your own application, in your own projects. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we will click on the component icon here. Then we will go to simple, no, not simple, list. Click on list. Then we will click on custom list. We want it to be a custom list. Now this custom list is going to show us all the available. We're going to use this now to bring in, just like we did in the to-do list application, we will do the same thing here. So this is it. Then just like we did for the form, you have to select the database that this belongs to, or that this can take data from. Okay, so we will go ahead and then click on this. What is this a list of? So it's a list of workspaces. All right, workspaces, all workspaces. Okay, then we will go ahead and double click, like double click twice, so that we can enter inside this card. Then we will just, I want us to push these things from one side to another side, so that we can be able to put an image. Okay, so we will push it here. Okay, then I want us to like adjust the width of this, then adjust the width of this as well, something like this. Then click on this, the card itself, the card inside, and adjust it and make it a little bit larger. And then so here will be the name. We can call it this will be just the name of the workspace. Okay, so I will just put it like that. I want us to be able to like see the things differently. So this one is going to be the location. We don't need to do that. We just need to put the name of the workspace and the price. Yeah, yeah, name of the workspace and price, something like that. Every other detail we can see it in the main page. I will show you what I mean. So just the name of the workspace, the price, then we will try to Control C, Control V. We need to create another one here. We will call it the created date. Created, you can just call it created. You can be more creative than me with the namings. Okay, so created, this is going to be like the dates that the workspace was listed by this user. Yeah, because Adalo records it like automatically, like by default. Okay, so we will do that. Then we will, let me just push this down a bit. Okay, all right, so this is like this. The next thing we're going to do is we'll bring an image. We'll go back to the component section, bring an image. It will follow your cursor. Then you drop it inside this. It has to show like these two parts for you to know that it's actually inside the list. All right, because if it doesn't show, you have some errors. Okay, so we will now have it like this. I will try to adjust it just so that it can fit this space I have here. Okay, so that's it. I will click on the white space again and just like try to adjust it. Okay, so this is it now. I have the name, the price, the created date. And so now this is just name, right? It's not from the database. So we need to get something from the database. So we'll click on it. We'll use the magic text, current workspace name. All right, now it overflows here. It looks too big, right? So what we can just do it, do is we will try to just like reduce the size of the whole thing. Let's make it 12. Yeah, you can always, make yours more beautiful. Yeah, so then we'll come to price, and then first of all, let's just adjust the price to the font size of that particular, field to 12. Then we will go ahead and then put price, put a dollar in front, because the value inside the database is just a number. It doesn't carry the currency. So we will go ahead and then click on the magic text, current workspace price. Now, like this, now we have this is the current workspace price. The date it was created is the next thing we would do. I'll reduce the size again to 12. Then I will go ahead and click on the magic text, current workspace created date. That's it. And we have these now. So we have like three different fields now. Then another thing we can just do is we can, okay, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? All right, so we will go ahead, and I just want us to add every single thing on the stuff on the screen. We will come to buttons. We'll add an icon. We want to be able to add an icon for edit. Well, we can use an icon, or we use depending on how you want to do your UI. You can use an icon, or you use just normal text. Okay, so I think in this particular situation, let's just use text. So text, I think text might even be more beautiful. Reduce this to, let's say, 12. Then try to scale this. This, okay. Reduce this, pull this down to something like this. Then let's change this text to edit, right? Edit. Okay. So this is edit. I'll copy this, Control C, Control V, and I'm going to use the next one for delete. All right. So I'll say delete. Okay. So this one, I will just make it red. Okay. I'll just make it red. Okay. So we have edit and delete. Let's just like try and take it very close to the end here. Okay. All right. So we have that. And so now these are going to be buttons for editing and deleting. So what we're going to do next is, okay, before we go ahead, let's just view what we have done so far, right? So now, if we have this particular page, my listings, we need to be able to have somewhere on the admin dashboard where we can, click on, and then it can take us to my listing. So I'm going to create another, button. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and then just make it buttons. We're not paying attention to UI right now, so we can just say, oh, let's just use text and just make it cool. So here, then we say my workspaces, my listings. Anyone? I think I prefer listings. Okay, so this is it. Then I'll just reduce the font size to 14. Okay, then I'll make it a little bit dramatic. It's not like dramatic, but just like add extra features to it. I'll add an icon there. I'll go to buttons. I'll add an icon just beside it. And this icon is going to be right. Right. And use an arrow. Arrow. We can say arrow. We can use an arrow here like this. Okay. So we can reduce this size, and yeah. So that's it. Okay, so we have the arrow like that. Anyhow. Okay, so this is going to point to my listing. So we will say action of this. There are three things we can do, right? Instead of making an action for this separate from this one, because these are like two different objects, you can just go ahead and then select the two of them. Click on one, hold down shift, select another one, and then make a group. All right, so turn it into a group. So make it a group, and then that's what it is. And okay, so a little bit there. Okay, so it's not a group, or a little bit. Up again, I think. Okay, so it's not in a group. We can just click this now. So the two of them are the same components, right? We have combined them. So we can now go ahead and give an action for the two components. So it's going to my listing. So we click on this. All right. So we have this like this now. And so when we go to our dashboard for the admin, we will see my listing. We'll just click on it. It will take us to my listings. So let's try it out and see what we have done so far. Okay, which is here. Oh, very nice. So we have this is our logout button. This picture is now from the database. All right. If you can remember, it is not showing in our design, but it's now showing here because it's coming out from the database. Okay. So create workspace takes us to create workspace. We go back. Then edit profile takes us to edit profile working. Then my listing takes us to this. All right. If you can see, we have every other thing working. We have the edit, we have the delete. Uh, on the second thought, I think I would have preferred to use the icons instead of just the text. But anyways, we've used the icons before. Depends on your UI. Now we don't have a picture here. We don't have a picture of our listing. Now that's because we didn't like uh, specify the source of the image. So we will go back and then we will click on it. You have to double tap twice. Click on it. If you see here, we did not select the image source. So we have to select it. It's from the database. It's the current workspace image. So now it's been selected. We can preview it again and just see how it goes. All right. So login. Okay, so we have it here. We click on my listing and then we have the workspaces that have been listed. So this is how the workspaces appear. So we have the name, it's mainland light sports, the price, the created, there you go. So we have the buttons for edit and delete, which we have not given actions to yet. And then what else should we do? Okay, so we're gonna just like we'll go back and then make sure that the edit and delete buttons are working. We will like be fast on that. So I'll click on the edit button, and this edit button is supposed to take us to another form. So I'll click here, another screen, sorry, and add a new screen that is called edit listing. Yeah, something like this, edit listing. So with this now, I have edit listing, and then I need to edit the things that are here. So I need it to be like a form to bring out the things that are in the database. I have to use a form. Okay. So I have it like this. So I will go ahead and say, we click on this and select workspace. Now let's go to, this is workspace, location and everything here. Okay. So, we will click here to point this particular button to this particular, it's supposed to be a button, right, or an icon, but we're using this. Or should we change it? Yes, we should. Okay, so let's use an icon actually. I think I would just prefer to use an icon quickly. An icon, we put an icon there, then use the icon as edit. Yep. And then reduce the size. Okay, then, all right, so we have the icon here. Okay, so we have this here, then we can point it to the edit listing page. So we click on the add action, go to link, go to edit listing. All right, then basically what happens is that it sends the current workspace data to that particular page because we will need to capture it from there and update. So now when you click that, it brings you here. So we'll click on this. Let me just check my guys again in the studio. Uh-oh. Okay, all right. So we will go ahead and then continue with what we're doing. Okay, so here we have the the details. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and sorry. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and then continue the presentation. Please just give me like a second, really. I had some technical glitch there. Sorry about that. So we will try to just go back to the whole thing. So please, the guys in the studio, can you hear me? Please, the guys in the studio, please, can you hear me? Hello. Can anyone hear me in the studio? Okay, thank you very much, Wese. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I will go ahead and present again. Wese, can you see my screen? All right, thank you. Okay, so sorry about that breaking transmission. Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. Really, really sorry about that. Okay, so I will just go ahead and then wrap it up because we're a little bit past the time we're supposed to spend on this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to just do is we push through with we've created this button. So this button takes us to this listing, right? The next thing we're going to do now is let's work on the edit listing page. So I'll click on the main screen itself, then I'll just adjust it so we can have like the full details of the entire page. So now it is saying create workspace. We don't want to create a workspace, we want to update the workspace. So I'll just click on this, and then instead of create workspace, I'll choose update workspace, because this particular place is for the admin person to be able to like add the listings. All right, so we will do that way. The next thing we're going to do right now is we will go ahead and what do we do next? We will go ahead and when the user creates let's do some changes, right? So when the admin uses the create workspace screen and creates a workspace, they should be taken to, when they click to submit, they should be taken to view listings. All right, yeah, they should be taken to view listings. So I'll add another action and go to link, and then I will say view listings or my listings. Yes, so they'll be taken to my listings immediately after they've created a particular workspace. All right. Okay, so the next thing we will do now is when they have also updated the workspace, now the action here that follows after updating the workspace, it's going to be to take them back to my listings, right? Or is it my listings or edits? Yeah, my listings. Just leave it like that. My listings. Okay, so that is going to bring the person back to my listings here. So now that's like how it is. We're going to experiment all of that, but I just wanted to do it in advance. Then let's just do one more thing, which is the edit part. We have done this before, but we will just do it again. So what we will do now is we will go ahead and create another screen. But this time around, the screen is going to be called a modal. Yeah, so we'll click on add screen. You call it modal. Modal is going to be just a screen that pops up. It's more like a pop-up that shows when you want to like delete something. So like delete listing, delete the listing screen. So this is how it is, and then we will take off this. It says here, note when you link to this modal screen in the link action, select modal as the transition type. I will show you what this means. But what we want to really write here is, are you sure you want to delete this listing? Then here is cancel. When you click on cancel, it takes you back. When you click on OK, we will change this OK to yes. It actually deletes the listing. All right. So now let's make that happen now. When we click on delete, when we come back to this particular delete, all right, we have to give it an action. We'll click on action, add action, link it to the delete listing screen. But now, just like they said, it has to be modal. So the transition type has to be modal. So we'll use modal here. The reason is because so that it can appear on top of, it can hover on top of the my listing page when you're trying to delete it, instead of like taking it to a new page entirely, right? So we will click on done. And then when we come to this particular listing now, what we do is we'll click on yes, the button itself, and then we tell it what to do. So the initial thing here was to link back, so we delete that. So add an action, delete current workspace, right? And then we click on done. Now, after deleting, if you don't add another action to tell it what to do after it has deleted it, it will just stay there again, and you have to like keep clicking the button delete. So we have to add another action and say after you've deleted, go back to you can just click on back, but I would say go back to my listing. Right, and then we click on done. Okay, so that's like it. So we're going to test what we have done so far, and let's just download one more picture of a workspace. So let's say workspaces. Okay, so let's just download one more picture. One more picture of a workspace. Okay, this might work. Save image. Workspace 3. Okay, so we have another workspace image. So we will go ahead and then try to test it. So preview. Okay, so log in quickly. j@gmail.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Log in, takes us to the admin. Okay, so we click on create workspace. We want to just create another extra workspace so that we can see all the different tweaks that we have done. Let's call it Kaduna workspace. Location is Kaduna Highway. Kaduna Highway, Kaduna area. Opening time is 6 a.m. Closing time is 4 p.m. Contact number is +334, like that. Then the price is $5. It's cheaper. Oh, let's just say $12. Then we click to upload a picture. We add this, then click on open to upload it. You wait for it to upload and it shows here, then create workspace. Now, initially, when we did it the last time, when you click on create workspace, it submits the detail of the new workspace in the database, but it still stays here on the same page. But now we have created another extra action that tells it, after you've submitted it, please just take it to another page. Go to my listings. So we'll click on create workspace. So this goes straight to my listings, right? We take it to my listings. And then here you can actually click to edit. All right, so you can see the details here. So you can edit your details. All right, then you can also delete, right? So let's try with the, now if at all you've seen the things that we did, created a day ago, created a day ago. This is created a few seconds ago. This is like the created time thing that we did, right? Now we can go ahead and then click on delete. If we click on delete, it pops up. Now, if at all we use the transition type push, it would have taken us completely to another page. All right, but now we use the transition type modal, so it only pops up in front of that same page, so we can still see the details in the back, right? So we can just click on cancel, then it will just close it like this, or we can click on let's delete the old one. We can click on yes, and it will actually delete and take us back to my listing. Right now we can do it such that it doesn't take us back like this. We can do it such that we can still use modal as the transition type when you're clicking deleting, right? So instead of it like reloading it to just like go back to this, we can do that. Okay, let's just try that. Then we add one more feature and then we end today's class. Okay, so let's say yes. Now when we are deleting it and taking it back to my listing, instead of doing push, we just do modal and this. Okay, so then for this guy, cancel. Yeah, this guy was fine. Okay, so let's add the detail again one more time. Now, if at all you've observed, we've been creating stops just for the admin for now, right? So we will try to see if time permits, because we should close by start by 2 p.m. So we close by 3:30, right? Yeah, I'm using a different time zone, right? So that's why I'm a bit confused. Okay, so let's let's just try to see what we just did. Email.com 12345. So we create a workspace, close it. Let's say Uyo workspace. That's 3 Harvard Uyo uh Ibom State. It's 8 a.m. opening time, 5 p.m. closing time. Contact number 34899, like that. The price is $10. The workspace, we will just choose one of the pictures we did yesterday. So this one, yeah. We'll click on this, we'll wait for it, then we will go ahead and then create workspace to take us back to my listings. And then now it's on top, right? Okay, so we will just go ahead and then try to do something. So we click on delete and then we say cancel. Okay, delete, and then we say yes. Well, even with the modal, it still reloads like that. We'll try to find ways to make it more nice, but that's it. So here we can now edit and delete our listings. But now there's something really cool that we should do. Now, if even admin, of course, in an organization, right, we can have like multiple admins. We can have multiple admins. I think in the next class, we will reshape the whole project. Instead of calling it an admin, we can call these guys the vendors, really. Yeah, we can just call these guys the vendors, right? Yeah, so instead of just calling them admin, we can just call them vendors. That means they're the real owners of the workspace. So I think we can just switch the cycle right now. So these are the owners of the admin. So admin, the owners of the workspace. So admin is basically the owner of the workspace. They fix the prices of their workspaces. They can delete it, they can edit it, they can do a lot of things, right? So okay, so now let's say there's another user, right? Another user uh that is in the system, right? That is also an admin. Okay, and then this person is an owner of another workspace. So let's go to the user base, the user database, and then check the records. We don't have to create something new. So Steven, yes, so Steven is an admin, right? Steven is an admin, and Steven doesn't even have a picture, right? So, but he's an admin. So what we now need to do is we will log in with Steven's details, all right? And then we will see some problems. Then we'll try to fix them. So I'll click on preview again. I'll log in with Steven's details. The other account was Uche. So this is going to be Steven. So STEVN at gmail.com. Then here we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Login. It may require me to log in again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now this is it. So we have an empty image space, correct? Because it's a new account and then the person doesn't have a picture. Fine. We will not try to edit that because we can easily do that by coming to edit profile and then we fix in these details. But no, we're not doing that. We just want to check out something. If you click on my listing, Stephen Saul has never made it any listing. But if we click on my listing, we see that there's a listing. This is bad. This is a problem, right? Because Steven has not like created a workspace before, right? Doesn't own a workspace, but all of a sudden they can see the workspace. They can even manipulate it. They can edit. They can delete. It doesn't make sense. It's like logging into Facebook, for instance, and then you can see other people's accounts and edit and manipulate it like you want. So that's really not cool. So we're going to try to fix that such that for every single new vendor, new person that owns the workspace, right, they don't get to see another person's data. They can only get to create their own unique workspaces. They can only edit their own workspace. That's workspace that belongs to them. They can only create, delete their workspaces as well. So let's fix that now. Okay, so this might be a lot of ideas right now. So if you have issues understanding it, please just make sure that you attend the labs later this evening, right? Then we'll try to just like look at this again. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we're going to do something like really, really cool. All right. So, but before we do that, we need some few things to be done for us. We need to go to the database and then we're going to like go to the workspace and then do some things like we need to add extra properties to these things. So we will say add property. Let's call it text. This is going to be the admin username, or let's change these guys. Let's not call them admins again. Let's just call them vendors. Vendor user vendor email, right? So we need the vendor email, and we need another thing called the vendor full name. Vendor full name. All right, vendor name. Okay, so that's all. So we want a system whereby for all these records that are in the database, we want to be able to see who is the owner of the workspaces. So if you see here, vendor email is empty, vendor name is also empty. So we don't know who actually owns these workspaces from our database. So that means we cannot do any serious manipulation. So we will just push these things up just to arrange it a bit. Vendor email, vendor name. Okay, the positions doesn't matter at all right. So the next thing we're going to do right now is we're going to come to this particular listing, my listing. We'll click on it, and then initially it was the list of workspaces, and then we are filtering all the workspaces, but we're now going to do something extra, which is called add custom filter. So we want to be able to filter the workspaces by email of the person that owns the workspace. So we'll go ahead and click on add custom filter, select the vendor email. Okay, say vendor email. This vendor email must contain, all right, contain the logged in user's email. So now this is like the logic you use to filter what shows in this particular listing, right? Because when they logged in before, they saw everybody's listing, like they saw all the listings by other vendors, right? But now we get to see we want it such that if you're a new user, you're a new admin, you've not created your new vendor, you've not listed a workspace before, you shouldn't see someone else's workspace and delete it and edit it, right? So that's what we're doing. So we're creating a custom filter. We have to go first to the database and then add like two extra fields. One is the vendor email, and then the reason was because we wanted to do what we just did right now. So we now say vendor. We clicked on add custom filter, then we selected this add vendor email. Want to filter vendor email such that it has to like the things that we are filtering right now has to contain. We're using the vendor email like the pointer, so it has to contain the logged in user email. All right. Okay. So now if we go ahead and then click on this to view it, it's not going to work because if you come to the database, we have records of database, but now there's nothing for the vendor email and vendor name. Okay, so we can manually put it, but no, we won't do it like that. What we will just do is we'll go ahead and then I'll just log into Uche and then I'll delete every single thing. I'll delete every single thing and then we will just create it again like really fast. Okay, so we can close in 5 minutes. Okay, so we'll go ahead to the listings, my listings. Oh, I had already done that, so I can't even delete it from here. Of course, if you can see now, it doesn't show anything because the query is supposed to use an email, like an email property, but it doesn't see anything, so it just shows empty. So let's not delete it from let's delete it from the records here. So I'll just go ahead and delete everything. Click on this, delete all 4 records, workspaces, go. That's done. Then what I'll just do is we're going to create it again, just really fast. This was a very important part of of our training. Yeah. So we will just like log in. Still Steven. Okay, so I will just copy this and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we click on my listings. We don't have anything because for real, we don't have anything this time around. So we'll just go ahead and create a workspace. So we'll say Kaduna workspace. Oh, let's not create first because there's something we need to do to this create workspace button. We want this create workspace button to update the data in our workspace database. It's like to update some certain things. Let me show you what I mean. Now we want a situation whereby when we are submitting this form that says create workspace, right? We want it to also update another information. We want it to update another information in the database. So let's try to do it that now. So click on add action and then we say update new workspace. All right. Now what are we updating? We want to update the vendor email, both of them. We just update the vendor email. We click on the logged in user full name. That's we're updating the vendor name, right? Then we just clicked on the magic text. Then we went to logged in user. Then we choose full name. Then for this section, we will click on to update this. We click on the magic text, logged in users email. All right. Then we will go ahead and say done. All right, so now what happens is that when the user is clicking to create workspace, automatically that same workspace, this new workspace that is being created will be updated. Like the column that has to do with this particular column, the column that has to do with the vendor name and the vendor email will be updated with the logged in users email and phone name, because we will be able to, that's basically the condition we used when we were trying to filter my listing. All right. Okay, so we will go ahead and then try to do it again. And I think this is like where we will end the class. Okay, so already have an account and then we'll paste it. 3, 4, 5, login. Okay, so we go to create workspace and then we call it Kaduna workspace. Yeah, and it's in Kaduna Highway, Kaduna, Nigeria. Opening time is 6 a.m. Closing time is 5 p.m. Contact number is +234-999, like that. Then we have $10. Then we will upload a picture. Any of the pictures will do. We upload it. We wait until it loads. Then we go ahead and create workspace. And when we create, it will automatically also update it in our database. Because of that, it works now. It shows our listing, right? we can go ahead and just add one more extra listing, and then say Uyo workspace. Location is Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Uh, it opens at 6 a.m., closes at 6 p.m. Contact number is +234, like that. And then this one is $15. Okay, so we upload an image. I just want to, this is like how we end the class. I'll put this one. Okay, so I will create the workspace. Now we have another one. We can edit, we can delete. Very cool. Now let's go ahead and log out. All right, let's log out, and then when we log out, let's log into another account. This time around is going to be Steven. All right, that Steven is another user. That was Uche. And then Uche has listed two workspaces, right? Now this is Steven. Steven is a new user. Steven doesn't have a workspace, right? Hasn't listed a workspace yet. Right. Gmail.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Login. So good. Now here, of course, everything works out well. This is Steven Soul, our image, and we can create a workspace. We can edit his profile. Go to listings. Now, if I told you, see, he doesn't have any listing at all. He doesn't have any listing, right? Because we have done a filtering that says the only thing that should show here should make use of the email property in our workspace database to filter the entire list. That's basically what happened here. If it's a bit confusing and difficult for you to understand, just make sure that you try to attend the lab for today. So I think that's like going to be the end of our lesson for today. In the next lesson, which is going to be tomorrow, we're going to dwell more on the freelancer section. We will see how to like properly like present it such that they can actually get to search for workspaces using the names of the workspace, maybe names or location, and we just search, then they'll see that appear, then they can click to book and even take them to the payment gateway. That's what we will do tomorrow. So this is the end of the training for today. So while you're still here, I would like to say thank you very much for staying. I saw some complaints about it not being so clear. I think it has to do with maybe your system setting. No, I mean the settings on the YouTube channel. There's one gear icon like that you're supposed to like use and take it to like the highest resolution. All right. So thank you very much for attending today's training. Please just do us a favor by clicking on the subscribe button and liking this video if it was really educational for you. If it has provided you with some knowledge on how to build your MVP or even work on something for your client, just click on the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel, and also like the video. You can drop comments if you have any challenge, and we will actually get to reply and respond to you. Thank you very much, and we see again tomorrow. Goodbye.